because, you know, most of them have achieved absolutely nothing, but yet they're giving out all this stick.
Jules, have you had any interactions with Aaron Ramsdale, and how have you found him when you've been covering Arsenal?
Yeah, I know him really well. I know his agent really well. I've known him since he was much younger, before he went to Bournemouth even. And I remember him telling me not long after he signed for Arsenal, everything that was happening. One, I think he's very good now that he opens up about it, like he did with the miscarriage of his wife too. But also, I think, like the boys have said, is the response. And that's why I said to him, you have to learn from it and you have to become stronger for it. And I think there's two sorts of players who are facing this kind of issue. It's either you can step up and then, like Craig said, have a really good season and show that actually all those idiots on social media that put you down and said you were rubbish and etc., they don't matter to you. But we've seen some players, and we know some, who actually could not move on from that kind of criticism or from the TV and the pundits, etc., and really struggled, lost their confidence, lost the momentum, and just never really recovered from it. And I think with Aaron, I admire him so much for everything that he went through his whole life, not just the last few months, to being able to really stood his ground and said, I'm going to show you, I'm going to prove all those. It doesn't really care who they are, but I'm going to show you that I've earned this move to Arsenal and I can play and I can do really well for this club, and that's exactly what he did.
Frank, you get the final say on this one.
Well, one thing, you know, in terms of social media, like at the time for us newspapers, I would say, well, you know, we try to have confirmation of something, maybe a good game or a bad game, with people who are not in fact legit to talk about it, because they've never been a football player and they don't feel what we feel when we're on the field. But it's part of human beings to be comforted sometimes and go for the comfort that they need from those people, which is, I think, a big mistake. I'm very intrigued about all that system, and I'm very happy that some people like Dele Alli before, now Ramsdale, are able to talk and be really frank about what they feel and about our world, because it opens, you know, some doors, or maybe for some people to understand how it is and how our world is not that simple. It's not only kicking some football, it's being a warrior and being very ready also psychologically about that game. I remember, you know, being called for the national team the first time and being hammered by a writer from a journalist from L'Equipe. And when you hear your mother on the phone crying, where it should be the best day of your life, you know, you hurt. And you hurt, and it's not easy because you feel it's not fair. But as I think Greg said, it's part of our life. As Stevie said, you have to accept that. It's a difficult job. It's how strong you can become and be stronger during your career, because you're going to accept all those things and be better, because you want to show to those people that they're wrong. Because obviously with Ramsdale, many people were wrong.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.
Hello guys, we are back again. Remember, this is the part 2 of what we are already listening to. So like what you have already heard in the video before me appearing, these guys are players, these guys are human beings, and I felt like, as much as people say, these interviews has really been important, because we get to see the person behind the camera, the person behind the footballer we get to see every single time. So if you keep coming after them, you have to understand that they're going through real life problems. Especially, for example, Aaron Ramsdale, he's talking about when he signed for Arsenal, the greatest day of his life, and how the people he expected that they're gonna be giving him the, you know, the confidence he needs to go forward, were actually the worst enemies he has ever met. The football pundits and everyone was saying something against him. You have to be ready for that if you're a football player, and as well you have to be ready for anything like that, because it's always gonna come. Listen to what Frank Leboeuf is talking about. He's talking about how a reporter actually wrote an entire paragraph about how much of a a terrible player he was. And guess what? He is a human being. He has emotions. He has feelings that will hurt him. And as well, in the video we're watching about, the first video you're watching, where Craig Bailey was talking about how much it was way different back then, because there were not so many TV channels that are covering them, and as well as there were not so many reporters. There was no this social media where somebody is always writing about somebody 24/7. It's all about football, and if they're not talking about the game, they're talking about a certain player. Harry Maguire has gone through that. Onana right now is the trending topic right now after the thing that has happened, because he's playing for a big club. So many people, so many players go through that, and you have to be ready to deal with that. And also, I think I have to put so much pressure also to the football club as well. Why am I saying the football club? Because the football club also has the power to do these decisions, to make some important decisions to help out the players, so that they can deal with some of the criticism that they go through. If you are a football club and you are not going to take any decision to try to at least give some videos for the players to watch, so that they keep getting motivated, as well as learning something that will help them to be ready for. Because if they're going to be going on social media, going on Sky Sports, expecting some good news about them as players, trust me, they'll be disappointed. As well as, I'm not saying that every single time it's always going to be bad news that is going to be said. Sometimes they'll be hyped, and sometimes being overhyped can actually become a bad thing. So what I'm just trying to say is this, to Ramsdale and also to the people: understand that these people are human beings as well. What they're saying is really important. They're going through so much criticism, and as much as we keep putting it upon them, we have to understand that these are human beings, and they have to be treated like human beings. So I don't know, I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. Have you really learned so much from Ramsdale's story, and as well as Danny Ali? And what are you gonna do as a keyboard person, somebody who hides behind the keyboard writing something, or as well as a content creator like I am, in terms of not over criticizing the player, but also remember he is a human being like me, and I had to be hurt when somebody talk about me. So I don't know, I hope this was educational, and I hope you guys will actually learn something. Click the like button, subscribe to Connect. We'll be back again with other videos. I'm out. Peace.